Hello, everybody. This is the Byrd Is The Wyrd podcast. I am your host, Byrd. I am here with one of my dearest, closest friends, Chelsea Snedden. She came all the way down from Valpo to hang out this weekend, and luckily she was on this week's podcast. We have had a really fun conversation, just going over show running, some of our opinions as far as how comedy applies to the First Amendment, and where her personal brand, Divine Timing Comedy, has come from. And I think this is a very fun time, and we're going to get into it in just a second. Hopefully, though, right before, you guys can like, subscribe, maybe leave a comment. I will get back to you. Roast me if you want to. I don't
leave
care.
A comment who you think is going to be famous someday in the indie scene. If you're
and if it's not me, I'll delete it. But yeah, it's going to be fun. But like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Yeah. And if you know anybody who likes this kind of humor, share it. Just spread some love. But we're going to get right into it. Thanks. Okay, we are starting. We are rolling now. We are rolling. I like to start my podcast with our weekly confessional, which is where I have myself and my guests reveal a story to one another that we would not normally share on the internet. Something regrettable, something embarrassing, something you wouldn't want to talk about. I think it's good therapy, actually. I think I'm going to keep mine light. I'm going back to my childhood here. It's not very recent, but I'm responsible for the death of like hundreds of toads.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a fucked up way to start a podcast, but I accidentally committed toad genocide.
What did they do to you?
Frog's still really upset about what I did to his buddy. But no, so we had this fish tank by the window, right? And we stopped having fish. And I'm a young kid, so I think like kindergarten probably. But we don't have fish anymore. It's empty. There's toads in my yard. So like every day, my brother would go and kidnap toads, and then we'd put them in the fish tank and keep them as pets. But because they were by the window, the sun laser beamed the toads, and it just kept happening. My parents had no oversight in the operation at all. And so we just kept nuclear death raying these toads, and we had no idea what was happening because they'd just throw them away. And they're like, we caught another toad, and they're like, stop!
So you were just frying toads?
Frying toads.
Over and over?
Yeah, it was like it was terrible. I feel so much regret.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This is good eating toads right there. Like, what a waste.
Have you had frog legs?
I hate frog legs, honestly.
They were salty. When I was eating meat, my grandma gave us them, and they were salty and chickeny.
It reminds me of
chicken of the amphibians.
Hey, no fighting on camera.
Cats fighting, yeah.
No fighting off camera, okay? If you're gonna fight, let me get my camera so we can exploit this shit. No, I mean, frog legs do have a certain consistency that reminds me of a sticky, slimy substance we both enjoy very much. But for some reason, I do not enjoy eating them that much. I don't know why. It's like scary chicken. Scary chicken is what frog legs are. I don't know.
Do you want to know mine?
Yeah, I just admitted to some war crimes here. There wasn't anything funny about it, so you might as well.
Yeah, they say in science you're not supposed to hurt vertebrates, so you committed a lot of vertebrate level.
Technically, it was the sun. It was a survival issue.
Yeah. So my embarrassing story is I was also a kid. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old.
So it was a while ago.
And wow.
A good long while.
And my little brother is 2 years younger than me. My little brother is going to be an important character. My brother's 6. And we're about to get baptized by my church. And my older brother calls us the day before. He calls me specifically and says, "Hey, Chelsea."
Whoa. Okay, I guess my cat is featuring in the podcast today.
He calls me specifically just to say, hey, Chelsea, when they, dunk you for the baptism, they're going to hold you under until you can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And so I start crying my eyes out, and then fast forward to the next day, we're all dressed in it's like a blue tarp, and I turn it to my little brother who's 6 years old, and I start crying, and I say, they're gonna drown us. And so my little brother believes me, and he also starts crying. So then the pastor's doing a sermon, and then that's when he brings out the kids to in the middle of the service, be like, these kids are becoming one with the church. And instead of that, he opens the curtain, and it's just me and my little brother, and we're just like, please don't kill us, please don't kill us, in front of the whole congregation. And my parents were just really mad, and we canceled a baptism that day.
Huh. I mean, there are worse things that could happen to you at church, though.
Yeah. I mean, true.
Oh no, they're gonna drown me. My cats have been just maliciously fighting each other off camera for some reason. Every time I have guests over, they're just chilling, napping on my bed. Every podcast, someone's like, the cats are just being real chill, and right now they're just attacking each other. Something about your energy, Chelsea. I don't know.
They smell my cats.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I think it's you. See? Watch this. Anyways. So you were drowned by a priest, you're saying?
Pastor.
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot
to
that church.
So, out of all the kinks that have developed from your traumas in life, is that one of them fundamentally?
I think I have a praise fetish because of the church. I like to be told, I'm doing a good job, and...
You're doing such a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have a praise kink, but I don't got a lot of experience in receiving praise. So whenever someone's even slightly complimentary, I'm like, you don't even know the real me. Beth is so sweet to me. She's like, oh, my baby boy. And I'm like, oh, you don't know the terrible human being I am.
The thing is you can still be a terrible human being, but people can see the best in you still.
There's a lot of best in me. The cats are really fucking up my vinyl records right now. One moment. Hey, can you not? Those are $400. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. When the flow is off, you can turn it into something good. When I had KJ on, I still regret this, but this is more of a confession actually, but everybody on the internet can watch this. But in the first episode, I just straight up black-splain issues to a black man. Or white-splain, I guess, would be. White-splain black issues to a white man. And it was so uncomfortable, but I just edited it in a way that kind of made the awkwardness funny, So you gotta trust the process. And if you don't trust the process, trust that you trust the process. And this has been Inspiring Words with Byrd and Byrd. What are your favorite inspiring words, Chelsea? I'm sure you have a lot of quotes in your back pocket.
Yeah, I studied Latin for 4 years, so there's a lot of really good quotes.
Boo!
Dum spiro sparrow, while I breathe I hope.
Wait, while I breathe I hoe?
I hope.
You hope that you're hoeing?
I hope I'm a hoe.
I have big dreams for you hoeing in 2026. I think this is your year. No, I don't know. I stopped, I used to be really big into, I'd write down, inspiring quotes, and then, 1 year I was just no more being inspired by anything except yourself. I even stopped watching Naruto, and I was I'm just gonna do everything raw, and then I proceeded to get nothing done for a year.
If I got a tattoo for comedy, I'd always said I really wanted the Mitch Hedberg quote. Can't please all the people all the time. And last night they were at my show.
I think you can please all people all the time. You just gotta, like, get really good head game going. If you heard that there was one man who got off everybody, you'd be like, yeah, I'm letting them. Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how
If somebody got
STDs.
8 billion people off, like, I mean the whole planet. If someone made...
I know, but, like, there's
you want to be
diseases.
I'm saying this is an optimal hypothetical. Okay?
I know, but if you're optimal hypothetical, there's still an optimal amount of diseases that even sleeping with a quarter of the population of Indianapolis is putting you at such a high risk. If you're watching this, get tested.
Get tested. I got tested recently for no good reason whatsoever. And
didn't you not fuck anyone all of 2025?
All of 2024, all of 2025, and then
okay, so
I got
this is 2023 sexual history you're checking.
Anyways, so I went and got tested, and Fight Club was on in the lobby, and that just makes so much sense
to me. The whole presidency ago.
You're really putting it in perspective for me. Thank you, I needed that. So Valentine's Day's coming up, and I feel great.
I have a hard time. Valentine's Day is a really hard time for me traditionally. It's a time of year it's not great for me. I'm a big cyclist and I like to be outside, so I can't be outside. And then it's kind of all about love. And just the last few years I've been kind of a lone wolf.
Lone wolf, not
I'm not to say that I wouldn't like a long-term relationship. It's just more like it hadn't been presented to me, and I've been moving around the last year, so it hasn't just happened. And it's made me sad. I also got cheated on. Yeah, we're just trauma dumping.
Yeah, but trauma dumping's the best, isn't it?
It's been hard getting back out there. Like, I mean, Bowden tries every day. Like, what are your tips for getting back on the horse, Bowden?
I'm on a donkey because I'm a jackass. Yeah, no. You know what? I don't try anymore. I just chill. And you know what happens? Nothing, but that's fine.
I just really love love, so like I hate that Valentine's Day isn't a good time for me because like if I had someone, I would be making them like cherry Pop-Tarts and shit right now.
I used to go crazy on Valentine's
Day. I love love. Like that's what sucks that I never get it is because I really really love it and want it. So and I feel like the universe is like no. Like you gotta like be a pessimist a little bit, and then like someone surprises you is kind of how it usually shakes out. But like because I'm so optimistic and like any little thing, like playing beer pong with someone, you're like, is this it? And your mind just goes to the future.
Yeah. Yeah. So instead, just think about the past because that's better.
That's what I do all the time.
Ruminate. That's how you get back up on the horse.
Yeah.
Because the horse is hauling a lot of baggage behind.
Do you think of love and like? Do you think you have to get better before you can be in love, or do you think love is part of like, what makes you better?
No, but if you want to have the best chances of making it a long-term, successful, healthy relationship, you should have some of your stuff together, but it's not required. There have been people who have some of the most beautiful stories together, and they came out of like terrible, desperate situations. I mean,
But also shared passions can kind of help things.
I think that's a kind of a mandatory thing. Like it doesn't have to be the whole relationship, but I think if you don't enjoy doing anything with your partner, it's like
yeah. My last two partners I met from like my hobbies, like the finance one was I met we were riding bikes together. I met I dated a comic for a little bit. We met doing that. Don't make a face.
Oh no, I was just thinking. I'm like I can't really talk about dating because I was in a 4-year relationship that came out of high school. So I've only had one relationship.
But I never dated in high school, so it's like.
Oh, stop acting.
So I never knew that. I never had like a high school sweetheart.
I did. Well, like I was super unpopular in high school, but like in junior year I started getting some girlfriends, but it wasn't like serious stuff. And then I met my ex in senior year, and so that just became a long thing. And I'm just younger, so like I don't have as much experience. Prom? No, COVID fucked that up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't go to the junior one because I was like super embarrassed about not being able to get a date. And then senior year came around and I finally had one, and they canceled it on us. It was very
I went to
unfortunate.
prom with someone who was my very best friend, and I was in love with him. He was varsity football, lead in the musical. Now he's gay.
Big surprise! Really? I could sense it from the start.
He was nominated for prom king. I felt like royalty that night, but it was not meant to be. Ryan, if you're seeing this, shout out.
I know who to send this to. Do some deep web searches real quick.
I can give you a prom picture. It's on my Facebook.
Yeah. I wish I did get to go to prom.
It was a fun time.
I don't know.
I really enjoyed prom.
I did fuck up. Like in middle school, like I felt like such a loser, but then I remember there was a couple of times I fumbled so hard. And some of them were, I was technically an asshole. Like, another embarrassing story. I was in class, and I was sitting behind my crush, and then she's talking with her friend, and we're kind of just fucking around, so I talked to them. And then for some reason, it was brought up, like, ratings, and so, like, my crush, like, asked, like, what I would rate her, and I was like, 10. And then the other girl was like, what you rate me? And I was like, well, I don't want to throw her off, so I was like an 8, and she just like looked perturbed, and I was like, no. And then this same girl, like a year later at one of the middle school dances, like the whole group of the popular kids were like, she needs someone to dance with, and she's a beautiful girl, like she's one of the popular kids and everything. So like I don't know why
You're just like 8.
and they came up like as a group, so like. Maybe, like, I was just super anxious, because it is, like, sus, but, like, as a group, a bunch of popular kids come up to me, and, like, one of the pretty girls is like, I need someone to dance with. I was like, I'm good. I was terrified. I was like, in middle school, I went... In middle school, I went to a couple of dances.
The Cupid Shuffle.
Yeah. I never danced at the middle school dances, and then I never got to go to one during high school, because we only had the prom. Like, I don't think we had homecoming dances or anything. I did get to go to a wedding a couple of years ago and dance, and that was fun, but I just,
weddings are fun.
I'm super self-conscious
You should be at mine. You should be a bridesmaid for my wedding.
I think that's up for debate now.
Depending on the groom, Bowden will be my bridesmaid.
I think I'm going to be the drunk, belligerent person.
You won't be my maid of honor. That's reserved for my stepsister, Katie.
That's fair.
We've told each other we're our maids of honor.
Yeah, well, I'm not a maid, so...
You're a bridesmaid.
I'm not
you're a bridesman.
I'm not a milady, okay?
You're gonna have a suit that's the same color as the dresses.
I'm gonna wear a white dress to piss you off.
No, you're not gonna wear a white dress to my wedding, Bowden.
Yeah, I will. 100%. Yeah.
Just because me and my hubby.
Yeah. 100%.
Just because you don't agree with our love.
Yeah.
Are you gonna fucking object?
Yes. Full Shrek style.
That would be so mean.
So mean. Yeah, they stopped doing those. They don't do them anymore. If you're in a wedding and the guy and the pastor or whatever is like, does anyone object? You know they put your spouse put that in there because it's not part of the program anymore. She's like, can you add that in, by the way, just in case just in case my ex shows up, I want to leave an option in there. It's crazy.
Is there an ex that if they did that, you would be like...
No.
I mean, I have my first love who broke up with me.
I sadly still have, like, some Stockholm issues with my ex, who's subscribed to the podcast. But, yeah, no, like, if I was in a decent relationship that I felt like I was going to be married, I wouldn't have any way to be in contact with that person at all. I don't leave it open. I don't know. One of my friends was like, I feel bad because one of my ex-boyfriends texted me and I ignored it, but then they were just like asking if I was okay with the whole ice thing going on, and I'm like, I mean, it's sweet, but you don't gotta. I'm like, you don't. But I'm like, yeah, you don't gotta feel bad that like you're in like a 6 or 7 year relationship. Like, I don't think it matters. Like, you don't have to text anyone back at that point. Like, or at least not anyone out of your immediate circle. Like, exes. Generally, are exes for a reason. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience though. All of my exes.
I visited my ex because he texted me Happy Thanksgiving, so
all of my
it works. That shit works.
Like, half of my exes are all knocked up, so that's weird. I come from a small farm town, so like everyone like I either asked out in high school or went out with is like got a whole family now, and we're only 23. It's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah, most of my exes are engaged or running a
But then I come out to the city.
comedy show on the south side.
But I come out to Indy, and there's so many of these comics that are like.
Are there any comics that you would?
What?
That you would
go out with?
Yeah.
I think there's a few comics that I have a lot of deep respect and affection for that I would like to date someone like them, but I kind of have like a policy. I've already asked out one comic, you see, and I'm not going to be a guy I'm a booker, so I can't be chasing comics. You
That's
know,
true. That's true.
It's grody behavior.
I'm a booker as well.
Yeah, that's a good segue into this point. No, I won't fuck the other comics. I won't. One person ruined it for the rest of them. No dick for you. No Bowden dick for the comics.
This part of this podcast is sponsored by Stratton Smith.
Oh man, it sucks. I did have him and Maya Smith on a whole episode, and the audio was all just unsalvageable. I felt so bad. We had so many great points. Like, I was sitting there and I was like, you guys actually, actually kind of like look a lot alike. If you look at some of the facial features, they kind of line up. And he was like, is there something on my face? Because the birthmark. And I was like, damn, bro. I'm like, it's cold.
He's good at roasting.
It was beautiful.
What do you think your goals are with like show running though?
I don't know. I feel like there's an oncoming shift in what I've been doing because of some potential unknowable venue shakeups. Yeah. So I might be reduced. So like I just went from one show a month to 2 shows a month, and I thought I had a lot of plans for that going forward in the year. But if this venue, we'll see what happens with them. But the new venue that we're working with, it seems like it's going to be an alternating thing for a while until they build up more presence, and then we can look at it later. But I don't know. Probably just going to go back to doing once a month or once every other month for a while. And I got to solve some life problems first. I got to pay some loans. I got to get my tooth fixed, I got to do some aesthetic things.
So Bowden knows this, but audience may not know. I run shows under Divine Timing Comedy. Bowden runs them under Bowden Byrd Productions.
Just BB Productions.
Just Bowden Byrd. So BB Productions. I've been running my shows for about 2.5 years now. Started in December 2022, given really just a venue up north by my uncle. And we just did one comedy show, and we're like, man, whatever. And we packed out this like huge bar. So that was like my first foray into like running shows and stuff. And that was like my first ride. I was like, oh, I sold out the room. This is standing room only. So for me, it's been like a production of size. So to me, I'm just trying to like make bigger and bigger and better productions. Ultimately, my goal though is, I don't think it's in the next few years, maybe 5 or more, but I want to do, since DT, Divine Timing, I want to do DTF, Divine Timing Festival, so that's a dream of mine.
She's so thirsty, she has to make the name of her comedy festival down to fuck.
DTF.
Divine Timing.
So if you see this now, 5 years I haven't ran Divine Timing Festival, call me out, please.
I will send this clip right back to you. I'll have it saved.
Yeah. For sure, but
I think that would be a great idea. You put together really good shows.
Thank you.
And I do say that as someone who's been on a couple of them.
Yeah.
It's slightly advantageous to say so, but you have really good shows. So do you like
my format? I do like an intermission. I do like a DJ.
I
normally try to have food.
I think everyone's really like skeptical of an intermission, but yours has never. I've never seen it throw off the room.
Yeah, I just do 10-15 minutes because I know people are smokers. So people are itching for their nicotine fix by minute 40-50. So
I do think I might have been able to pull off the intermission at the Saturday showcase, but it could have thrown off the energy because I was going pretty solid.
That one wasn't as big of a.
I didn't want to I think putting a buffer in the middle might have.
And intermission's nice when you have a DJ because the DJ can just play music. So he knew he could just program 5 songs and then get back up there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have a lot higher scale shows than I do. I don't have as much resources as of yet to do stuff like that. But as we go into the new venue and kind of like work together and stuff, I'm sure my shows will get a little stronger.
So you saw me kind of work that business angle. How were you feeling when you saw me
I felt
talking to the owner?
It put into perspective where I am as a business person and showrunner. It definitely gave me I don't know.
What
I was
did you
super.
notice from your end? It's just
It
how
was
I closed the deal.
It was clinical. It was proficient. Yeah, it was efficient. It was.
I have a binder of all my posters, right? And so I'm meeting with this owner of a tavern that Bowden and I are going to work with, and I bring my posters out. And to me, that's better than just telling them, hey, I run a show, because you just want to show them something physically.
You have a whole pitch, yeah.
Yeah, so I had a whole pitch. Bowden witnessed it all, so it was just kind of a good, he just commented he thought it was really professional of me, and he just kind of really saw me, like, kind of more close that deal. I'm just trying to make sure that we have a good relationship with the venue, and the venue's just as excited about the show as we are, because if the venue isn't, you'll have a venue that's, like, not gonna poster and not gonna, like, support your venture. So, like, how are you supposed to bring people in if they're not even helping to bring people in?
I've seen some of the ads that the tavern themselves are running. It's some professional looking stuff. Like, and I mean, your posters are fucking great, and you got all, like, the interactive kind of graphic or whatever. It's really professional stuff, and gets me jazzed about what I can do to improve my stuff, because, like, I feel like I put together good shows already for what I have available, but I'm also just still very new to it. I've only been doing it for a year now.
Yeah, so I try to do a mix of print media, so printing posters, having them in the physical area. So this is Garfield Park, so making sure that it's in Fountain Square, Garfield South Indy, just to get a lot of foot traffic, because you want to get people around your age that are maybe more mobile. And then I also do digital media, so that's running ads on Facebook, running ads on Instagram, making sure your posters are nice, and making sure every time I'm making a new poster, I'm tagging the comics, so the comics put it in their story. So I don't always rely on my comics, but I like for them to share the poster at least, or put it out there that, hey, I'm here. Because if they have 2 or 3 friends, if all 6 comics have 2 or 3 friends that come, hi Kiki.
Ira's making a nice little debut on the podcast.
A little debut.
I will say, I think
the
that's
digital media is a good. I can't tell which one's more effective, the print or the digital.
I mean, based when I check my analytics when I run ads and stuff, I think Facebook ads predominantly move Facebook traffic. Ads. Eventbrite kind of does, but when I get Eventbrite analytics back, it usually says I get it through Facebook traffic anyway. So I think Facebook's optimal. But you do get a lot of people who come in
Facebook
from
groups too. Just sharing new Facebook groups.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm getting the most traffic.
You and I do a lot of that.
Yeah, and I post them all at the same time. So if I go back into my Facebook, it's 7 of the same post over and over again because I'm. But yeah, but I do think that's what made my show, the first Saturday showcase, do so well. Is you guys all shared, and even people who weren't on the show shared, and it just became a whole thing,
There's a second kitty.
There are 3 cats here. It's an insane ensemble we have. Bowden Byrd, he cannot get pussy, but he has plenty.
I got 2 pussies on camera right now.
Long enough to eat like corn on the cob.
Slob on my knob, like corn on the cob.
Yep. My favorite thing about stand-up comedy is I have a few stand-up comics that I know all of their jokes, and I can do it. I can sit at the back of the room and do their jokes with them. Maya, KJ, you, Kyle. I can just sit in the back and do the bits with them and just.
So I have a comedy mentor, and he's unfortunately witnessed a few comics in the indie scene pass away.
It is an unfortunate thing that happens to us all at some point.
And the thing is when you memorize their jokes like that, right? You have someone
Don't say that!
Going on stage and telling your joke.
God damn it. I hope I'm not one of them. I have some telltale signs of it, unfortunately. I have the... Someday someone's going to be at my funeral and they're going to be like, you really like joking about giving women yeast infections a lot.
I'm going to be on stage crying about you and being like,
oh, you're invited?
Sex is shower sex.
Oh, it is, though. If you don't know, if you have hyperhidrosis, right, which is when you sweat way more than the average person does, and you're moving a lot or you're stressed and you're sweating a lot, technically, all sex is shower sex. Like
really
when you're
good.
on top, all sex is shower sex.
He gets a good crowd pop from that.
Yeah, I think I do best when I just say little gross things about myself. My whole bit is like, oh, I'm so broke. I've been giving women yeast infections just so I can bake some bread, and then, you know, after I get off stage, sometimes people will ask me if my joke comes from a real place or not. No one ever doubts that one though. They're like he's giving yeast infections. Like he's fingering someone with Dorito fingers. Like
this
that's my
podcast
bond.
brought to you by Byrd yeast.
Yes, the yeast factory.
If it ain't rising, it ain't Bowden's.
I love it. And
so do you think you have a comedy mentor? Do you think you have like a mentor in the scene?
I think Kyle definitely fits the
Yeah.
biggest narrative. You and Kyle, but Kyle, I just see him every goddamn week, and we run the mic together, so it's a little more closely related. But as far as like show running, you're my
For me,
mentor.
I entered the scene and I just got hit on a bunch, and I didn't know how to like handle that. It was nice to have a mentor because he was like, yeah,
boom,
fuck
boom,
that
boom,
guy.
Darren Finesilver, boom, 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 shots fired, shots
Shout out
fired.
to Darren Finesilver. I was like a week and a half into comedy, and he asked me to get tacos. I still maybe I owe Darren some tacos.
Honestly, who would make?
Should we call Darren and get him to
I bet if you called him, we could get him on the podcast right now. I don't know if you can try, but I don't know who would be so wild as to ask out Chelsea. Jesus. That's a crazy thing that no one's ever thought of. Jesus. You'd have to be...
Let's see if he answers. I'm just going to call Darren.
Don't tell him you're on my podcast. Don't tell him. Just talk to him. We'll see what we can... Don't tell him we're on the podcast at all.
Okay, I won't tell him.
Just make sure
I'll
the
just call
phone's
him.
close to the mic.
Okay.
Hopefully this plays out.
Can I use your Wi-Fi?
Yeah. I gotta put on my little hotspot. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say Kyle's kind of my like stand-up mentor, and you're my show running mentor. I mean, I definitely picked.
I thought Kyle gave you shows. He was like the first one to let you really.
Yeah,
run shows.
he's definitely put me in a lot of positions to host. I think you guys have both had me on the same amount of times.
Because like as far as who's gotten me opportunities, like I just really want to shout out Ozzy Graham. Ozzy's the one. Hell yeah.
Ozzy's
love
set us
them.
up pretty good with this
Ozzy
new
set
venue.
me up. Really got me to meet with Fountain Square when I first started. when Fountain Square reopened.
Shout out Fountain Square Brewery.
Ozzy also now kind of runs karaoke at Shelby Street Tavern, so just want to shout out KJ Oz over there, doing amazing things and always bringing like, I know Ozzy just wants the best of the best, like wherever they go really, and when a venue's asking about comedy and Ozzy comes to me and is like, hey, I can trust you to do this, and like that means a lot to me. So like this business is a lot about relationships, and I went to high school with Ozzy, so just have nothing but like positive things to say.
This business is a lot about relationships, which really sucks when you have a disability that presents itself in social underdevelopment. I'd be like booking lots of shows and not be getting on shows, and I'm gonna be salty about that online.
Okay. Calling Darren.
Welcome to 96.5.
He probably won't answer.
If he doesn't, I'm gonna be surprised. Hello, you've won tickets to Morgan Wallen if you'll say the N-word right now on camera. Do it. Oh no, you said it. That was a joke.
I'll just say hey.
This motherfucker just randomly calls people all the time.
He probably was. I think he was up late. I think he posted shit late. So
yeah, he probably has to rant about how AI is not problematic some more. It is what it is.
I just said, hey, call me, hanging with Bowden. Okay.
Oh, don't say that. He don't like me, fam. Me and him got beef, I think. I don't know. I don't have strong beef with him, but we haven't talked in forever. We were on a show with Whitney White together, and he did not even try to talk to me. I was like, what the hell? It's like,
oh, I'm sorry.
I was like, he was homies, comedy,
damn, I
little brother.
I should have said with Bowden then.
Yeah, he's going to be like, nah, it's a setup. It's a ploy. It's a ploy! But yeah, no, I think Kyle Bates is... I think I look for more from him for stand-up just because we have a lot of the same gritty humor. But I think you and me also have some crossover with humor. I mean, you definitely have some dirty material.
We talk a lot of dirty. We talk a lot of relationships. I think we're both lovers, so... You know, we get hurt.
Yes, we're both lovers and talk dirty all the time.
No.
Let me just get that on.
Like that.
Let me just get that edited out right quick.
Not like that, Bo.
Me and Bowden are lovers.
We are hopeless romantics.
Yeah.
And I think...
Emphasis on hopeless. Emphasis
Bowden
on...
is a really hopeless...
Emphasis on less. Emphasis on hoe.
Who else? When I first started comedy, I mean, I don't want to get too far into this, but it's just, there's, number one, as a female, you get hit on a lot. That's just kind of a given. I think there's other women comics that we know personally that are struggling with this.
I had one of our friends be like, look how many guys we signed in my DMs from the comedy scene. It was like 50 different guys I know, and I was like so disappointed. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's why it's like a long time ago, even before I got rejected, I was like, I'm not going to be texting comics because it's so, I know what it looks like on the opposite side. Like, I know how weird it looks. I'm like, nah, it's gross.
But that stuff, like, if you don't redress that, and if you don't say to yourself, like, hey, this is, like, not okay for me, it'll, oh, Darren's calling back. Here we have Darren Finesilver. Hey, Darren!
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? I'm just chilling with Bowden. We were just calling to ask you some questions about comedy, if that's cool.
I'm like a little busy though right now because I'm about to get ready to do my podcast thing right now.
Okay.
Will you answer one question at least?
Could you answer one question?
Alright, give me one question.
Alright, do you remember when I was new in comedy and you asked me out for tacos?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. What like went through your mind with that?
I don't know. Just figured ask you out for comedy or coffee or tacos. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I love tacos, man.
Well, we're just talking about early comedy. We're just talking about people that inspired us.
You never asked me out for tacos, fam. Come on.
You never asked Bowden out for tacos. That sucks.
I love tacos.
I mean, hey, things happen differently.
Much love, fam. Much love.
Much love, Darren. Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you later.
Plug in some Darren Finesilver. Talk to you later.
Oh yeah, that was epic. He was like,
I just.
Anyway, shout out his podcast.
Shout out to Darren's podcast.
I was not aware he was doing a podcast. You know, there's something about 11:26 a.m. on a Sunday that screams, "Let's record a podcast."
Super Bowl Sunday, you know.
It is Super Bowl Sunday, yes indeed. Who's playing? I have no clue.
The Seahawks and I don't remember.
The Colts.
No.
I don't know. It doesn't matter what football game is on. I'm like, Colts. I see Green Bay Packers. I'm like, the green and yellow Colts. The Ravens are on. I'm like,
rural Indiana shit I've ever
The
heard.
Ravens are on. I'm like, oh, it's the purple and black crow Colts. Which is crazy, because weren't the Colts from Maryland before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Baltimore.
that was some good lore I just dropped in here.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Yeah, I do know a little bit about football. My family was a huge football family. I don't like watching it on screen. I like going to like football games. It's nice to know my neighbors vacuum regularly. My neighbors just be either vacuuming all the time or getting digged down crazy, dude, crazy style. Plaster has been falling from my ceiling. I come home and I'm like, another night rejected. And then it's just somebody getting their back snapped in half. Ruining the value of my apartment, fucking up my ceiling plaster. Crazy. Anyways,
I'd let someone
yeah.
break my plaster.
Well, yeah, you probably have when you live two or three apartments up. Yeah. This tiny little apartment I live in is in the basement of her old apartment building when she used to live here, so.
He lives on the 3rd floor, I was on the 2nd floor of the
So
apartment.
the ghosts of Dick Suck Past are still in the air.
I got financially abused upstairs.
Explain. Financially abused.
Okay, so financial abuse happens when you have two people
yeah.
and one partner makes more money than the other. And instead of
You mean a traditional marital status in the USA?
I know, but it's different when you're a millennial and everything's 50-50.
No, that's my point.
So they're being aggressively 50-50 of everything, but they make, at the time he was making like $70K and I was making $30K.
We're talking about Mr. Pickles here?
No, we're not talking
about No? Damn, I love
Mr. Pickles
Joe.
had a lot of DUIs, so I made a lot more.
he just
made a lot more money than him.
He oozed DUI energy, like.
Because my case is popping. My dad had a field day with that.
Yeah.
My dad's like, did you know he was divorced? Do you know he goes by 2 different names? He got adopted by a stepdad, so like he's under my case under like 2 different names.
Your taste is impeccable, actually.
I just wanted to try conservative dick. I never like dated a Republican, so like
that's just.
I do like Corvettes now.
That's so funny with who we were just talking about. You want to smash? I like him for his values, but I wanted to try conservative dick.
I just wanted to try it to see like if I could be a trad wife. Hey, I would love trad wife life, but I make too much money to like.
I think I would make an impeccable stay-at-home husband, just doing comedy and then coming home and
You have house husband vibes for sure.
Well, the thing is, like, people talk about like all the chores you gotta do, like the mental load of it. But I used to do that. Like I was doing that on top of working like the 12 hours. So like when someone's like, "Oh, like can't handle just staying home and cleaning the house," I'm like. It's different when you like have like a family or you got like a side gig going on or the relationship might be toxic or whatever. But if you are just staying home and your only thing is to keep things mildly tidy, I feel like there's slight self-indulgence there because a lot of people have to do that on top of like a million other things. But everything's circumstantial. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do we?
It's nice to know, not nice, but like. I think in those types of roles, like, the roles are clearly defined. Like, when I was getting financially abused, it was that I was still expected to cook and clean at a certain frequency. I was still expected to, like...
Well, if you don't like financial abuse, let me tell you about this thing called regular domestic abuse. It's solid.
I have 5 brothers, so I wasn't going to let someone smack me around. I'm strong.
I think I prefer
I've never
that.
been hit. I've never been, like, slapped, hit, anything.
My ex did both, though. Like, she would, like, maybe work half the year at that, and then okay, so we moved into a super expensive house, and then our first day there, she quit our job. Like, we both had the same job, she quit our job. We were making insane good money for our age, right? Mm-hmm. And then didn't work for, like, a whole year or whatever. And, yeah, no, that was insane. I prefer the slaps, honestly, because, like, slaps heal, but I missed out on a lot of good concerts. I missed out on some good comic books, I like having money around, I don't care. That's fine. I'm Stockholmed a little bit. That's okay, though.
I don't think of it like I missed out on concerts. I'm just like, I missed out on... I had really good pussy as a 24, 25-year-old, and I gave that all to someone who, like, would come in 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Like,
See, I was talking about this with Jeremy on the last podcast, but, like, I'm the opposite. I last very long, but it's, like, a anxiety thing. Like, I gotta, like...
He would come really quick because it was an anxiety.
It's like a, like, almost like a spiritual ceremony.
He wouldn't talk to me
It's gotta
about
go
it.
for a while.
He, like, kept it a secret.
You don't want to fucking bring... That's... Yeah, I get it. But, like, here's the thing. There's, like, for some reason, a lot of online discourse right now about, like, whether you should disclose, like, pretty immediately if you have a micropenis or not. And...
But dudes won't talk about ED. Like, if you have any type of erectile dysfunction issues, I just think dudes are, like, the last person to tell you. Like, you have to be like, huh, that lines up, that lines up, that lines up. You know, like, where you're just like, I think he's just excited and doing it quickly. But then you're like, every single time he's excited. But then, like, it was that he would get mad and, like, go in the bathroom. And it's like, that was a minute, and then you got mad. Like, you could have just... finished me off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what was the name of this guy so I can source this link back to him? No, that's the thing. I discussed this with Luke and Jeremy, both on the podcast, so it seems to be a recurring thing, but, like, I don't understand when dudes are like, it's just from me starting to my finishing, like, that's the accomplishment. I'm like, if you're not putting in real work, and you finish early, you gotta do some stuff after. You know?
I know. But as I've gotten older, I'm more likely to ask for what I want.
Oh, yeah.
And then my last few partners have been about eating out and all that. So
I had a few opportunities last year that didn't work out, and one of them was, like, I think you just try to communicate a little too much about it. And I'm like, well, it's because people around here be fucking pissed off they're having bad sex, but they don't want to tell each other what they fucking want to do. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just fucking talk about it. It's really fucking simple for me. It's like, do you want your pussy eaten? How do you want it done? Mm-hmm. Is it not really working? You want me to stop? Okay, that's cool. That's chill. I don't get it. But I'm a huge foreplay person. That's, like, my favorite part of it. So I don't know. I think probably ED is a real problem across the board for, like, 5 different reasons on that. Because we got people who are gooning the porn to extreme levels.
Like porn, I think a porn addiction
burning
is
themselves out.
really rampant with men. I think porn addiction.
And then these young guys are being told, like, very explicitly to take these boner pills and stuff that they don't need, but they think they need it because it's in their head. Like,
yeah, it's definitely in your head, but also I told this to another dude who was in bodybuilding, and I said my ex who was bodybuilding had this issue. And then he told me it was steroids. Steroids fucking do that.
Happens too. Yeah.
And he's like, were his shoulders really big? Was he, like, really muscular in the arms but not in the legs? And I'm like, oh shit. So it, like,
that'll do it.
It hit a switch for me because I'm like, oh, I just thought, like, my pussy was trash, but it was like, maybe my pussy's so
That's
good.
still up for debate. I mean, it's a Schrodinger.
For the record,
it's a Schrodinger's box kind of situation. The cat is in the box.
Let's call one of my exes and say...
The cat is in the box and we'll never know if it's alive or dead.
Let's just call an ex and call someone that's been inside of me.
Oh my god, this is beautiful.
I'm just kidding.
No, you should. I bet...
Call Dion right now.
Hi, you're being featured on the Byrd Is The Wyrd podcast. How is Chelsea Snedden's pussy?
So I'm just saying, as a woman in that relationship with someone with ED, you're putting it on yourself because that's kind of what patriarchy. Yeah. If he doesn't finish, or if he finishes too quick, or you're not satisfied in some way, that onus is put on you. So it's like I went through a really bad mental health because of that. Because I thought I wasn't worthy. Because I thought like I was a failure in some way. But it's just like someone that wasn't reassuring me, someone that wasn't making sure I was taken care of. And then like now I'm 30 and I don't do that shit anymore. Like,
I don't.
I'm in kind of a dry spell, but that's kind of self-inflicted. I just Bowden found an empty bottle of wine in my car, and he has been.
It's a crime, actually. Edit that out.
And then I said it's been a hard February. So, all that to say, being alone, being abstinent. For the 2
like when I was going around telling everyone I was celibate for 2025 because I kept getting rejected.
Bowden made fuck Bowden 2025.
Oh yeah, I'll link that in. I did.
I'll put that like right here.
Started January 2025. I was like, I'm feeling myself. I was in a fucking vibe, a mood. I was excelling for once, and I've made a dumb, like, campaign poster. I'll put it up, but it was fuck Bowden in 2025.
And then he didn't get fucked.
Yeah, I was getting to that point. But, I started posting it online, and the only reason I did it was because Jeremy Johnston, who was on last week, or this week, whenever it gets posted, but, he was like, no, you gotta be real about this. You gotta take this seriously. This whole scene needs this right now. We need a win. Bowden needs to get laid or we're screwed. And since I've been not getting laid, the scene just keeps getting worse and worse. So I gotta say, something needs to fucking happen here. Okay, I feel like I'm the lucky little charm that's not getting lucky.
I feel like the scene's gotten meaner, for sure.
Yeah. They need an underdog to fucking win, and then they'll remember what life is about.
We need kind of like, and that's like what I hope with you and I running on open mic, is that there's just another place for like the misfits.
You and me, we're going to be on the Mount Rushmore of the next wave of comedy in Indianapolis.
I think so.
You'll be like slightly smaller to the side because I'm going to be a millionaire, but
I think I'm just not going to always have the energy to run an open mic. I'm not always going to feel like coming. So it's just that
you don't feel like coming.
Shut up.
Is it that long?
No, I'm just saying you're going to kind of keep it going for that perspective, but like when it comes to like actual book shows, book showcases, you know, I'll have a good handle on that, and maybe there's like good opportunities that come for us between that where someone's like, hey, I actually want comedy here. We'll see you guys doing something good on Shelby Street.
I do have some potential things lined up with some comics from Chicago that we could potentially pull in some bigger numbers, but I'll have to talk with them about that and see how to spread that out.
Generally, people coming from out of town are...
No, they keep on coming. They've been here recently, and they be drawing crowds, man. I just happen to be super nice to them, and they were like, yeah, I'd love to be on one of your things. I was like,
There's some people that are like up north, but then they're from here, so then they bring their families in.
Yeah. That's one.
Like I plan to have like my friend Cam Basil from the region. He grew up in Noblesville, so hope to have him on the next show.
You know what's insane that I've seen recently is like we have comics who are going out to Austin, and they come back and they're like, it's the greatest thing ever.
It's like a mecca.
And it's beautiful.
It's like a mecca for
and
comedy.
they're like, I had so much fun there. But then Austin comics come here and they do some of their more conservative material, and it bites so bad. And then they just like get flustered, and then they're like, this place fucking sucks.
Fuck up, yeah.
Like fucking this guy from Austin who was on, I think, Kill Tony or whatever. He was on like the Sunday show, and that's a notoriously queer, positive room. You know, it's a very progressive room. And at some point he was talking about women, and he's like, well, and we all know women are whores. And he just like waits for everyone to be like, haha. And I was like, no. And he just started falling apart. I was like, oh. And the thing is, like, everybody came out to see him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, oof. Yeah, I don't know. That's a room you gotta, like, I think, if you want to be on the Sunday show, you should go to the Sunday show before you go there. Yeah. You gotta know that room, because I've seen a few people.
But also, as a showrunner, you need to communicate that.
Yeah.
So, like, when I was running stuff at Fountain Square, I would communicate, hey, this is trans-friendly room. If you do trans jokes, I'm not going to ban you from doing trans jokes, but just know they're not going to do well.
They got to be
comic
good.
You and I know, the same day that trans school shooting happened, did trans jokes, you know, where the crux of the joke is whether or not the person had surgery. So, like, a really big pain point for trans people. And I told them, hey, you know, there's a trans bartender, this joke may not go over well, and it bombed, and he bombed, and you know, it's just you're taking that chance. And as a showrunner, you have to communicate, hey, this is the room, you know. Versus I've done shit in Lafayette, where that's a very conservative room, so you can get away with that shit, like making fun of women drivers or making fun of women in general. And, you know, we're pretty good punchline. It's just I think of comedy as like power structure, right? So as a white man, you're kind of you're above people in a sense. So when you're above people and you're going at, you know, if you're a comic, you're a white guy.
I don't know. I'm 5'8". I'm below some people.
But you're a white guy, so you're up here societally, and then you're going at black women. It's like you're just punching down, brother.
That's
like,
right.
You don't need to.
If you want to yell at black people, you have to be gay. And vice versa. If you want to yell at gay people, you gotta be black. It's just a thing that happens. I might cut this out of the podcast.
I probably would.
This is just Black Panther.
But it's like Wakanda forever.
Bro, literally, I got this jacket last year and I wore it around all February, and black people just kept being like, "What's up?" And I was like,
"It's February."
Yeah, it was on accident last year, but I was like, "Why are all the black people being cool with me all of a sudden?" And then one of them was like, "Wakanda forever." I'm like, "Oh, you took it serious? Oh, cool. I'm just a dork." And okay. I don't know.
Just want to shout out that it is February, Black History Month. Definitely just want to shout out a lot of the great
month.
black performers we get to work with.
They really gave them the shortest month. Why? So rude.
But I just want to acknowledge a lot of my early success in comedy actually came from doing more black rooms. So that's Nate Robinson's Chicken and Chuckles.
Hey, Nate Robinson is going to be on the Saturday Showcase February 14th. Yes, February 14th.
Nate
That's coming out this week.
We were joking about top 5 comics.
No, we weren't.
No. We were joking about top 5 comics I would fuck. I also have a top 5 list of comics I think will be famous someday.
Oh, that's a good list.
So I'm
like 4 of them, right?
No. You know all of them.
I'm going to be famous one way or the other. I don't care what you think.
But of those, I think Nate Robinson is definitely someone who I'm like, tickets to see him are too cheap right now. Like, every time I see him doing something, I'm like, he needs to be, I think he got to open for Hannibal Buress last year.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
that's the thing, he's
probably, like, this old Mike Epps thing, like, he has probably been able to work with Mike Epps' people before. I have nothing but love for him. He brought that room to couples. Like, the thing is when you're bringing a room to comics, like, you're yourself are taking, like, you're having to take time out of your own life and schedule to, like, every Wednesday bring an amp and mic somewhere randomly, so.
Or you can just do what I do, which is, like, find a place where all of the work's been done already, and then, like, scavenge off of the end pieces.
Versus, I just think, Nate also did a podcast when I was early into comedy.
This is the part where you say, "No, Bowden, that's not true. That's not what you did." But that's not what you said. We're going to write that fucking down.
I'm trying to still plug Nate a little here.
Yeah, self-plug Nate. Like, he is such a good pull from our show.
But I'm just saying, from an early comedy standpoint, right, I just want to prop up those black rooms and those black creators. And, like Riot was the first to headline me at the Melody Inn. Just want to shout out Riot Johnson. And then another thing on Nate, I'll jump off Nate in a second here, but he was the first person to pay me to do a showcase. So Kyle put me on a showcase first, but Kyle didn't pay me, but I'm just saying Nate featured me, Nate paid me for Chicken and Chuckles feature with, I think it was Miss Nadine Patterson, so Miss Poovy. I'll grab the cat.
Sorry for fucking up the flow.
Just wanted to shout out a lot of those black creators that we are just so fortunate to have here in Indianapolis. I'm sure there's many more that we're forgetting. I know David Chambers works with Quinn Schlegel. They do really good shows up in Hamilton County.
And I think KJ is going to be a big guy soon. He's going to get some stuff going soon. I think he's going to be the next generation.
Creatively. I can see KJ doing more with his skits.
Skits. Don't say skits.
His little comedy skits.
His little comedy skits. Don't say KJ's little comedy. They're sketches. Skit is a 1-point small joke short. We do sketches. Me and him are professionals, okay? Me and him are doing big things in 2026.
But you and I are trying to film a movie.
That's true. I have a lot of projects on my hands. I like doing creative stuff. If I do somehow get a job at Helium, this is going to be a perfect way to, like, segue me into eventually not having to do any job that's not directly linked to creativity in a way, right? So, like, it's kind of connected a little bit to the comedy scene. I'd be making chicken fingers and fries and shit, but, like, it has potential for opportunities. Like, I'm more likely to get on the mic, maybe. I don't know how things work, and we'll see.
Yeah,
if I even get the job.
156 chicken tenders.
But in the time I can work there and like fix my financial situation, I can get a side thing going
Yeah.
creatively where I can actually start making some money. Because
I just hope
think
it doesn't keep you too busy, because I feel like Crystal is really, really busy now.
as long as I have at least like one mic night for myself, I think that, and that's fair. I mean, like Zach Hunt and a bunch of people that work at Helium still going to go out on a Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever and do stuff. So, but I don't know. We'll see if that pans out, but that would be pretty good for me because if I think people are like, there's no way to make money doing comedy in the city, or at least not doing anything adjacent to comedy. Like, I'm probably not going to be making money doing comedy, but running the shows.
I know, but if you could fix our financial situation, get a car,
running the shows,
you could start
get a sketch.
and
Well, yeah, there's side stuff like that, but like, if you get a sketch show going and a couple good podcasts, maybe make a small, short little network of podcasts.
That's
you
what
get
I want to do
event
more
planning.
of. I want to do small sketches.
I want to get into marketing a little
Yeah.
bit as well. So there's a bunch of like little things that don't take energy for me to do necessarily.
Yeah.
That's more like, it's more fun for me. So I'm gonna be a job, and so this might be a little opportunity to get my shit in order, and then be ready for that next stage of life. Or I might just end up working a warehouse again. Who knows? We'll see where life takes me. But yes, shout out to the Black creators and all of our comedy mentors. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of them. I mean, there's you obviously in both show running and comedy. You've given me several hosting jobs. God damn it, cats and puppies fucking with me. Kyle Bates put me on my first show and he lets me basically run the mic. I mean, he's more like an observatory person at this point, watching me do it. He actually told me for the first time the other day, he's like, I feel like I'm kind of building you up, like grooming you for the process. And I'm like, groom me, daddy. Groom me, daddy, do it.
I love Kyle. I love his dry humor.
He's so good. I think he should be famous someday. I think he should.
He's on your top 5
for sure.
Like who should be famous.
He's
For me, it's Stratton. So Stratton Smith.
Yeah.
I think he like.
I think
he
I
just
like
kills
dirtier
whatever
stuff.
he does.
Yeah.
He's a great writer. I always see new shit out of him.
But Stratton was also on my list. He hasn't done any like.
Yeah.
I've booked him on my shows, so he hasn't like necessarily mentored me. But he's the one who told me to go to Fountain Square Brewery in the first place. Because after I did my first open mic, it was a competition. I didn't place in the top 3, but he was like really supportive and everything, and he told me to come out there. So my entire process just really started from him being like, oh yeah, there's more comedy in the state than this one little.
I also think
improv club.
Aisha. I think she'll be famous someday.
Oh yeah.
I get the like.
She
There's just
kinda
certain
is.
comics.
Some of them are locally known,
Yeah.
like comics. Like they have real followings, but like big time for sure. But Terry Shepard is the only reason I host at all. I just asked like my 6th mic, and I just was like, can I host Colonial? And then I was doing that like every week or every other week for a long while before I started
I'm
doing
so
something
sad
else
you
with it.
never got to do his.
Yeah.
You didn't get to do
I was
his,
gonna be
the
on, like-
lab in Beach Grove.
Oh yeah. Well, I
So
was gonna be on a
he-
showcase after, but
Yeah, that was when he went to Colonial.
Yeah.
But before Terry Shepard ran stuff for Colonial Tavern, he had a show in Beach Grove at Walla. It was like kind of like this thin hallway, but it had a lot of chairs in it and stuff. So it could fit about maybe 25 to 30 people. So it kind of felt really intimate.
just like me. I can fit 25 to 30 people. Very
Not
intimate.
since 2023.
Very intimate.
Not since 2023. But
I'll be deflecting the dick.
So it's kind of this small, intimate room, but the owners and Terry and his host would kind of vote each week. So it was kind of like a book showcase. But the 3 top winners would win money. Like, you would win money. So I just think, like, having a little bit of skin in the game or being able to pay for your beers by doing comedy that night was always, like...
It's very important.
I was a really new comic when I won, so maybe it was like 4 or 5 months in, and I just think that was the first where I was like, I'm good at this, I should keep going. So it just gave me a lot of fire under my wings. It's like, oh, I'm actually good at this. I won, like, my first payment of comedy was just $10. I won 2nd place. With Chris Gordon and Dusty Carter Comedy. He is actually featured on Kill Tony now, so pretty cool small world of Kill Tony and comedy. So I just think that's why I shout out Nate, is because he ran a mic at a difficult time, and I shout out Terry because he ran a mic where they would pay people. You know, Nate paid me first too, and just those are the things that like really put the wind under your sails, like keep going in comedy. Like, what was that first moment for you? Was it like getting booked on a showcase, or what was?
I don't know. Like, I think every step of the way I've had little things that have been like reinvigorating, but like I did really good my first time, but I did like a story. So like I've never gone back to like long form storytelling as comedy. So the first time I did pretty fucking good with that, because I used my work as a writer, and then Stratton propped me up pretty heavily, and I started bombing. But then my third time, I placed second in the red curb competition, and I was just like, I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah, but getting second place is enough.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't deserve it, because Erin Middleton was like third, I think, and that was terrible. But like, she did so good, so I don't know if I deserved it, but it felt.
If that's what they voted, that's what they voted.
I got 5 minutes, which is, I've been getting like 10 to 15 minute spots now when I do get booked on something. So like 5 minutes isn't a lot, but I did 5 at the Sunday show, and I did kind of fucking murder that shit. So that was like, and
awesome.
I didn't read notes at all. All the little in between like improvised things that I said in between did good. Ooh, that was vibrant. That was a good time.
That's awesome.
KJ and Kyle were there too. It was good. It was good. I've almost threw up before my set though. That was insane. I was so anxious, like a good anxious, but it was a confusing anxious, because usually my anxiety is not a good anxiety. So when I get a little taste of that good energy, I'm like, I might actually die this time. So I was watching Kyle, and I'm like, he's doing so good, and then I just like, nope, go to the bathroom, run, beeline, and I'm just like dry heaving in the restroom, and I'm like, I didn't even do this time. Come on, like I was like, why is this happening? But luckily it like somehow centered me properly, and then I went out there and I was just. I mean, I did the same little thing where I kind of like smile and like look down at the ground a little bit when I tell my dirty jokes, but it was very endearing. And that's probably my kind of crowd, because it's a queer, poly room usually. So, like, they love me. They eat me up. They don't eat me enough. They could be eating me up more, but that is my crowd. I don't know. We still have a few topics to get through. Sure. Oh, but yeah, I didn't get a shout out Kevin King. He also did a lot of good things for me. It was my first.
Hell yeah, Kevin.
I think he was the first one to ever pay me for a show, and I did 15 minutes.
I love
there.
the vibe of Planetary when I go in.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's almost like the room kind of follows the showrunner, like the showrunner's vibe, and Planetary is always a good vibe. I like whoever hosts. It's usually a wholesome host. It's
yeah,
like
I did a lot of work
energy.
there too.
I love the bartender there. I think he's really awesome. Andy.
Yeah,
and then I just love the environment. Like I get it. It's kind of like a shoved corner, but still the whole room is kind of an L shape to it.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that when I did a show there, it was the most horrific thing that I've ever done and still regret to this day. It was such an Lawful Disorder show that you slipped out of.
Sorry.
I wish I could have gone back and, bro. Shout out Kevin King, because he does great work over at Planetary Brewery. I miss when I used to get to host. He started the Slight Night Roast Battle Tournament, which our mutual friend Maya Smith was a champion of, and it was so good that we are now on the actual official ranked Roast Battle League here in Indianapolis. So he put us on the map. So that's something. But he also had the Heckle and Hyde show, which is great, which is just.
He put me on the Heckle Sister Hyde, so that was all women.
So like you get to do stand up, but the crowd gets to like heckle you, and they don't really come at you very hard. But
my favorite was
I fucked with you at one time, didn't I? I forget what I did, but I
don't know if it was you, but at the Heckle and Hyde show, I said I got cheated on New Year's Eve, and someone just yells, "Happy New Year!"
Oh yeah, that was me. I also booed you at one point. I was like, boo. I don't remember what it was, but off stage, I remember I said something to you accidentally, and it made you cry. I was like, oh no, I went too far on this one. Shit. But no.
Yeah, you do that.
Kevin, yeah.
But
you say some flavorful things.
Yeah, just shouting out Kevin. He
so
is
good.
just a great. Yeah, just a great ally,
so
just a great everything in the
But
scene.
I think that room works especially because when he's there.
Yeah.
It's
and then
beautiful.
he's just getting rewarded in the best way, you know.
I miss when
he's organically able to bring a huge crowd, and that's why the roast battles are now on the main floor in Helium.
And he was the host the first time I ever did stand up, or not the host, because that was Chris Klein, but he was. I think he won the first one I was on. No, okay, I figured out. He was a special guest on the one that's the first mic I ever did, the competition thing, and then he won the next one I was on. So, I saw him very early on. I don't know. He does great work. Love Kevin. But, when I did a show at the same place, because he helped hook me up to try and do that mock trial show, bro, that was such a disaster. I was in a 4-year relationship with a woman that smacked me the fuck around, and I still think this was the worst decision I've ever made. And I don't know what exactly did it, but we made this entire elaborate, almost scripted fucking mock trial show. And then we show up, no one knows what the fuck they're doing. And I have 10 people, I paid them all $40, it's $400. And I bought a $900 camera to film the whole thing, and then the battery ran out halfway through, and there was no crowd. No crowd. That is an obscene L. And it's worth it, because I went to the strip club afterward to, vent. But still, what a crazy time. God. Anyways, check out BB Productions, because I run great shows, apparently.
I will say that not strip club including the hangs after shows for us comics.
It's one of it's
maybe my favorite part, or one of the best parts of doing a show with 5 of us and we all go to Imbibe. That to me is just I get sad when I do comedy up north, is because I did comedy at a show, and there was a comic friend that came, and I was like, hey, you want to go play pool? And we went and played pool, and I got all nostalgic, because I'm I used to do this with my friends in Indy. We would all go to Imbibe, and he just didn't get it, but I was like, oh, I miss my friends.
You hit up Imbibe, and then once it gets a little late and all the dealers go home, it's just center, so everybody leaves at a certain point. Unfortunately, that's the crowd.
Sometimes it's packed all night.
Sometimes, the tables are. But generally around 1 o'clock, if I was out, so you go to Sam's where everybody else.
Then you go to Sam's Silver Circle.
Where everyone's on the
Sam's.
come down. Sam's is great.
So that's another comic mecca, comic hangout. That's where I met a lot of the Helium people first.
But we'll be back in a second and start talking maybe about Comedy First Amendments. I'm just going to go to the restroom real quick. Hey guys, I just wanted to stop in the middle of the podcast to let you guys know about a great stand-up open mic here in Indianapolis, Indiana. That would be the Fountain Square Brewery open mic. I help host it once a week, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. List goes out at 6:30, so if you want to come, maybe try 5 minutes of comedy on stage and see how you do. It's a great atmosphere, and it's a great place to learn, so I hope to see you out there. And I run shows there, so who knows, maybe in a few months, if you're doing good, you might wind up on the show. You might find a life-changing experience for yourself at Fountain Square Brewery. So I hope you see it. I'll put up a graphic for details. Thank you very much for watching. So, what are your opinions of how, the First Amendment should apply to us as, stand-up comics?
So, First Amendment just kind of says you can say what you want to say. There still are consequences to speech and things that you say. So it's protecting you for what you say. You can't be arrested for it, but it's the reason why we know a mutual comic who takes, forces himself onto, music open mics, and then he says a racist rant or a rant about hating women and gets that mic effectively shut down for the rest of comics. So that's where Are
we talking Fedora and Pirate Beard?
Yes.
Pirate
so
he's
gotten, I think he's gotten 2 or 3 open mics banned for comedy. Just because he goes there, he says inflammatory things. He's banned from most from most bigger mics here in the city, but it's just like he's kind of like a cockroach. Like he just wants to go to whatever will let him have stage time. So you get those types with comedy. I think the First Amendment is important. Yeah, we should be able to say what we want to say, obviously, without like legal repercussion. But if you're going on there saying racist, sexist, whatever, you're not using it for what the, like, you're ruining it for the rest of us, and you're not making it a good place to be.
I think the comics like that are a little, they don't understand reality, because like in the real world, if you make a joke and it doesn't land, you're not going to get arrested, but your peers will look down on you. Like you
get the rest of us banned from a music open mic.
But so like they think when they come into the comedy scene, they can just make any joke, and there doesn't have to be like a standard or respect at all in it. And it's like, it's not your venting space. Like you don't just get to ooze out all your toxic energy on people because you can't say it anywhere else.
Or I don't know if you were there for this one, but I was running a show at FSB.
Yeah.
And the baby goat had just died.
Yeah, this is a sore topic.
And I told my feature, someone who runs shows for White Rabbit, someone who is a showrunner in their own right, and I said, hey guys, it's a little bit of a sensitive topic. Our venue is fostering animals. Speak of an animal. Our venue is fostering animals, and they just had an animal pass away, so let's just try not to talk about it. And because I effectively gave this comic something he couldn't talk about, and he decided to use his First Amendment to the best of his ability. He didn't like that I gave him, some kind of requirement. Normally I'm very lax. I'm just like, hey, this is a trans, that there's a trans person working here. I try to tell my comics that that stuff's not going to be tolerated. So I said, get another thing, which was just, hey, don't bring up the animal that passed away. I think she's here and her mom is here, so the two people that witnessed the goat dying. And this comic gets on stage and leads a chant with the crowd and goes, now with me, you say, dead baby goat, dead baby goat. It was embarrassing for me. I was hurting for the venue about the goat in general. But that's just how some people want to take their First Amendment. And that's why it's so important to me, is that comics have taken, it, and it's not really, his consequence for that is just he won't get booked there again on my shows. But the consequence is bigger for me as the showrunner, because I could have lost the venue. They could have literally said at that point, Chelsea, you're no longer running shows here. Yes. Because these are the type of people you choose. Yeah, and
I think people don't think about it in that angle.
The consequences for showrunner are bigger than they are for the comic. It's just like, yeah, I just won't get booked here. It's fuck them, whatever. It's just a personal thing. But then for me and you, it becomes this is my network. These are my people. So that's why I try to now book people that, number one, I've seen, because I don't want just someone doing a racist, sexist rant and I've never seen them, and maybe they have some good clips on social media, but then they get on stage and they just want to scream about service animals or something for, and walk your crowd. So you're trying to, number one, get a crowd there, but then you want to know it's people that you trust to still deliver a good show at the end of the day, and that can be hard in itself. Yeah. I guess, have you had someone kind of derail your show like that?
I've definitely had a certain comic that a certain somebody has a certain interest in, who literally threatened well, not literally threatened, but joked about stabbing my aunt in the neck. Really fuckable quality there. So that really derailed my show. He was opening my room for me and threatened to stab an arm.
That happens regardless of how I feel about this comic. That does derail a show. I headlined someone who I didn't realize was kind of newer at comedy. I thought he was a couple years in because he's in his 40s, and he spent his whole time headlining FSB talking about my body and just being like, oh, I love Chelsea so much, I would fuck her right now in front of y'all.
He's gonna get in trouble for stealing my material.
God damn it. But I am someone, I don't do roast battles because I'm sensitive about my body, I'm sensitive how I'm perceived. I don't really like when people go into that because I want my mind to speak for me more than I want like my body to speak for me. I know I do I know I do bits about like my pussy and like
that's just
things like that, physical humor, but I don't personally like my body to be talked about. I don't like to be perceived in that way, and that was like a roast battle I did with like, it was kind of an unmoderated roast battle. That's kind of why I won't do it again. Is a certain other showrunner at Fountain Square ran a show and just let people put slips of paper about their opinion of us, and then we had to read what they said about us.
Oh.
And I don't know if you can bleep these names, but
I'm not bleeping shit. Just say how it is.
they just said like, why is Chelsea a vegan if she's shaped like a sweet potato? And Chelsea must be a conductor for how often she gets a train ran on her.
That's been done before by a million people though.
So
that's hacky.
That was one of them. I left not feeling good about myself.
Yeah.
My boyfriend at the time saw me cry in the car. Like, it wasn't a great. I didn't leave that show being better off than when I got there. You know, like I didn't even get paid for that. So I had a free show that demeaned me. So I like, just personally, I won't do that again. And then I don't really do shit for free anymore. I got, you know, and this is where I want to thank Max Haddad. Is he's like called out. Don't look at me like that. He's called out. I was working for a comedy club, and I didn't know that they were paying half the comics, and they weren't paying me. I just thought we all weren't getting paid. But because I was either an opener or a host, they just saw it not in their hearts to pay me. So I had never been paid at all. So I wanted to shout out Jeremy Johnston. And,
we actually talked about that on the last
really?
episode. Yeah, so we didn't. I don't think we went into it specifically, but like the specific venue not paying.
But then, you know, he also called out a venue in southern Indiana that was, you know,
a big deal.
Poor actors, and even got them to cancel their comedy, their festival that year. So that's like, you think about impact of your words, you think about impact of like what you're doing for the scene, and you're calling out a venue that is harming women, actively harming female comics. So I think the fact that those people are on the scene gives me hope, and that like the people our age are able to kind of fight back a little on, hey, we're not going to accept the things that the last generation would just accept in comedy, that like, yeah, you got to get diddled by the comedy club owner. We're not doing that. Like,
this is a good thing that changed as soon as I joined the scene. I would have gotten diddled so hard. By so
I really
many.
don't, like, that's the thing.
I've already
gotten
creepy vibes.
And I don't want to use my sexual energy to try to get spots like that. Like, that's never been a...
And I've not seen that ever in the scene myself, but I'm sure it's happened at some point from somebody. Because we have some, unfortunately, really... we had some really creepy people running shit.
Shady showrunners kind of still in the scene, and I definitely have, like, comedy beef with people. There's beef behind the scene with some other people.
There's a whole war going on
that
out here.
you know, but it really comes more from, I'm just a female showrunner, and this person decided to like really just zero in on anything I was posting, where, you know, I posted a big picture of the Fountain Square room, and I put sold out, standing room only. And there was one table where they had just gotten up and gone to the bathroom. So there was just one table with 2 open chairs. So it's a packed room at Fountain Square, and then it's 2 empty chairs.
But you see how that would happen though, right?
And I said standing room only because everyone standing here was...
But there's a table right there.
Shut up.
No,
but this person posted that I was lying about my standing room only show.
Yeah, I mean, you are a notorious liar, Chelsea. Like, fibbing all day long. Just straight.
I'm not fibbing. I'm proud when I fill a room. I'm proud when Fountain Square has a $500 sales night. You know, where they were paying me $100 or whatever. You know, whatever fee to print out posters.
Every show I've been on there has been like an absolute fucking hit for you.
I really stress the marketing, and I make sure that the venue's still getting taken care of.
Marketing's impeccable. Your posters are always really good. The DJ's a really nice touch. I try to do like a very low-key thing where I had my friend DJ for us, and it just did not work out.
He just doesn't pay attention.
Yeah, it's good to actually put money into somebody who does this professionally and has a whole system. I love my DJ. He honestly, he's worth so much more. I should be paying him what I pay a headliner, but I end up paying him what I pay a feature.
Mm-hmm. As far as scale.
How do you
goes.
break down your pricing?
I actually don't want to get too far into that.
Yeah.
But the headliner does get a fair amount more. The feature gets a fair amount. I kind of have, just the regular...
See, I'm suspicious that I don't pay well at all, because I be paying people and they're like, awesome, excellent. But then, just slightly, they'll be like, I don't know. Jeremy got offered to do a spot for $100 the same night. I was offering him $50. And I was like, how much do people usually be getting paid? Because I did a 15-minute spot for $60, but I thought that was an insane opportunity.
It depends on the crowd size.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think at our new venue we'll have the opportunity to or at least I'll have the opportunity to pay a little bit more and stuff, and we can
talk about this privately. It more so kind of comes from, are they coming from out of town? So my Cincinnati people, I'll kind of chip in a little extra. I try to make sure they have at least a tank of gas.
Well,
they drove an hour here,
even
2
if
hours
it's
here, 2 hours
Bloomington,
back.
yeah.
Bloomington, that's 50 minutes. You just got to think about that versus someone like you that's coming from downtown. Not that I'm sitting there and saying Bowden gets paid less because he's from here, but it's just has to do with how much your input cost was. But I still negotiate, free drink from the venue.
Mm-hmm.
I still negotiate,
Right.
other things, and then they're getting so put out there that I'm not gonna be all high and mighty to my own horn, but toot. But when I book people, I notice they get more bookings because I'm blasting their face out like crazy. So I'm marketing them. Their face is out there. People know they're getting booked. So I'll actually do this for Zach Zuba. Zach Zuba hasn't been featured on a lot of stuff recently.
Yeah.
I'm putting him on my show. I'm betting you when my show's out and done, Zach Zuba will get more bookings. That's just
he has a very interesting thing going over at Wonderful Bar and Grill. He records
I love his little
Department of Media and Humor. That's a nice little... I keep on... every month he's like, you're going to come and be on it. And there's always some extenuating circumstances that fuck
Friday's
me out
a tough day. I had made it work 2 times. I wasn't quite... That's just where I was at the time. I was leaving Indy, not really happy with myself. So I wasn't happy with the clips that I got. Personally, just the material I did, it was... He does it to a dead room, and then he tells you that he'll add a laugh track later, and then no one added the laugh track, so...
It's just... It kind of just depends on who shows up that month, who, ends up...
So if there's comics there that know my stuff, it's fine, but it's, Cleophas can come. Cleophas is a blind comic, but he'll come to that and just kill, and it's hard to follow Cleophas. If Cleophas just killed the room and then the rest of the room knows your stuff. So I haven't had and that just goes to me personally. I've loved the experience every time I work with Zach. I love the show. I just wish my clips on it were better. So that's just a personal...
I've been working on a sketch to to give to him for that for a while, but I keep forgetting to get around to it, unfortunately. I love Zach Zuba. He's a great guy.
I'd love to film just some random little clips that he could add it into that. You could have the transition clips he does.
I think to have a few different shows like that in Indianapolis would be good, to have a series of sketch and stand-up and interviews and stuff like that. When was the last time you felt like you really killed a set, or you did the last time you felt really vibrant coming off stage?
That's a good question. I think I really killed it at there's a comedy club up in South Bend called The Drop that I sometimes get to do spots for. They have an open mic, which is they do a double mic, so it's the first 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. is a bucket mic.
Yes.
And so you just kind of go up there and just do spur of the moment stuff. And what I love about that is it kind of warms you up. So then the 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is like
trust me,
the professional open mic, kind of comedy club. You're going up, you're shaking the host's hand, you're really like kind of putting your best stuff. So if you don't do super well at the bucket pull, which sometimes I don't, I'm not always an off the cuff.
I'm miserable at bucket pulls.
I'm not always an off the cuff comic, but it does like warm you up. So I did one of those where I wasn't feeling my first set. And then I go on and I, have some maybe 30% new stuff, 60% old stuff because there's like, new crowd. Mm-hmm. I think I was able to just really kill, and I went after a comic who kind of bombed and didn't really have that many laughs per minute. And then when you can get on, have a set where you have a certain amount of laughs per minute, and you just know they're in your hand, and then you end on, maybe one of your best jokes. I just really killed that, and even the host was like, let's give it up to Chelsea, like, we needed that, oh my gosh, we needed that. It's just such a good feeling when you can kill.
Have you ever try to like make fun of a comic on stage, either because like they bombed or something, or they said something fucked up and it just doesn't land? Dude, like
I'll say I have.
I did it to Mason this last week. Oh, it was miserable.
So I'll do that. That'll also happen at the drop where I'll kill, and then the next comic will get on stage and then realize they're kind of bombing, and they'll do what it's called. I call at least going after the sweetheart of the room. So when I kill like that, I've won over the room. If the comic next after me goes on and it says, "Oh, well, I'm not a slut like Chelsea," he attacked the sweetheart of the room. So the audience turns against him. So that's what you never want to do, is you never, like, I would say Kevin King is someone easy to, like, be like, oh, fuck him on his planetary mic, but Kevin King is the sweetheart of the room, or someone like Maya Smith.
It's really hard to come for Maya, because she doesn't give a fuck.
She's so sweet, she's so beautiful, she's good at what she does, so if you come for her, like, audience isn't going to be on your side. Same thing with like maybe someone like Stratton. I think he can be a sweetheart of the room. So if a comic does kill, you don't want to go after them. And then if you go after a comic who bombed, you're kind of a dick. So you might lose the audience that way too. So it's not something I always try to do. Maybe at the drop, I'll one of the hosts is Kyle Kinzer, and he's kind of like a skinnier dude, and I'll just make like school shooter jokes about him. I'm like, oh, let's give it up for your host,
Give it up for the human plank.
Take a break at Columbine to come be here, So I'll make little things like on Kyle, but it's just who he is. Maybe I'll do that to Kyle Bates too. Like, just sometimes there are comics you can kind of get away with a little slight.
I mean, I get fucking roasted.
Yeah, you definitely catch strays.
I think that's why I have so many female comic friends, is because they stop making fat jokes about them when I'm in the room. I'm just like the go-to fucking yeah. And I enjoy it too, but then I only dislike roasts when they're not good jokes. When I can just tell they're just somebody like reaching to try and like divert from the fact that they're not doing well. There are certain people in the scene that when they do fucking terrible, they're just like, their first go-to is to be like, where's gay Bowden? Where's retarded Bowden? Where's fat Bowden? And I'm like, okay, but you're blundering on stage right now.
Yeah.
I had a person be like, Bowden, why don't you get it over with already and shoot yourself so we don't have to deal with you for another year? I'm like, what is funny about it? Like, it didn't hurt, but I'm like, what's funny about it? Do better.
But when are you gonna?
Now! If you keep talking about what you've been talking about, soon!
Just because I want to lay
I'll
my head
hang myself in my bridesmaid
ever so
dress.
lightly on a hairy chest.
Yeah, no. Anyways. Fucking back to Maya. Maya and Jeremy are about to roast each other in March, and I'm so hyped for that.
That's going to be a good one.
I think that's such a good
They're
matchup.
like a good level with each other.
They almost went against each other in the end of Slide Night, but Jan Taplock won against Jeremy, I believe, so like,
yeah.
He missed out on that last final. So I think this is good redemption.
Jan's really good.
They both have so many roasts written. I am fucking vibing for it. I'll probably put up a graphic for it, because Maya, we just were at her house last night for a party, and Jeremy, I hang out with him plenty plenty.
Yeah,
Enough.
I love Maya. Just shout outs to her. Just always being a cool person. I just think she's cool with everyone. I mean, maybe she has enemies. We all kind of have ops in the scene.
Sure.
But I just think she's someone that's very beloved and easy to love and, you know, just does great at whatever she does in the scene.
Yeah. She's got a lot of skill, too.
Yeah. Also want to shouting out the comedy besties. Shouting out Crystal and Beth.
Beth.
Crystal is just a whirlwind of a
I
woman.
love Crystal so much. She is my favorite. I get to talk to her Tuesday about a job at Helium, but that has nothing to do with it. But I love Crystal. I love her so much.
She came to the drop. Her and Beth drove up to the drop, and they made these amazing, like, salted caramel chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, Crystal took me up to the Kokomo Press open mic, and she brought homemade Rice Krispie treats, and I ate half of the thing. Like, it was a huge bag.
She had
diabetes.
some more in her bag at the end of the night, and all of the comics came up to her and said, "Can I have another cookie?"
She's prolific.
The best cookies, and
Great
she is just like, every time I see pictures of the menu or things she's made at Helium, like, she's kind of their new kitchen manager.
Yeah, I think she manages. I think that's what you call it. But yeah, she runs the kitchen at Helium Comedy Club here in Indianapolis.
And she's been able to, like, mess with the menu. Like, I complained to her. I was like, the only vegan option was, like, hummus, and I just think she's made more options for me.
She's not been doing stand-up very long, and she's very comfortable on stage. She's very
but she was running stuff at Monster Inc.
I know she's been running stuff for a while, but
Yeah.
she was like, I don't know, at one point we were talking, she was like, I've only been doing it 6 months, and I'm going to be the kitchen manager. I'm like, oh yeah.
And shout outs to Beth. I think she's, we were talking about Beth Reynolds.
One of the sweetest people.
One of the sweetest people. Just
really
an
good at
amazing
beer pong,
person.
too.
Really good at beer pong.
Distractingly good at beer pong, yeah.
Yeah, in order to distract me at the last shot of beer pong, Beth showed me some goods, so she won that way, fair and square.
Fair and square.
She's just a big supporter. Crazy, I think that's important.
It is really crazy, though, because she's like, I'm like your mom, you're like my son. It's like you almost came out of my vagina, but also in the same room. She's like, titties! And I'm like, what? How should I feel
they
about
were
this?
for you, though.
I know, but how should I feel about this, honestly?
That
would scare. If my real mom did that, I'd be terrified. Love Beth to death. She's like one of my favorite people to have at Fountain Square Brewery. She knows how to be in the audience. She has fun when she's on stage.
Yeah, she walks into comedy shows. She's laughing, you know, like, as a comic, you kind of can be at those things and be like, I want to go outside, smoke, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she actually sits at the front and laughs.
Especially when you go to as many, like, mics and stuff as you. She's around quite a bit, and she still enjoys doing it. And that's what matters.
That's maybe what I'm going to do less of.
Enjoy doing comedy?
No. I mean, we all have those days, but just less of, like, when I was living here, I definitely went to Wednesdays every week. I just went to so many mics. I think I was getting to a point where I couldn't separate myself from the comedy drama. I just couldn't see my life.
It's because you like the tea. You'd be
that's
sipping up that tea.
I'll
literally be like, I don't want to do tea anymore. And you're like, no, this is a tea party.
You'll hide tea from me, though.
No, I don't hide tea. I just don't care to talk about it sometimes. But you're like, what's the tea? Like, but you're like, I can't separate myself from the drama.
My time away from the scene has kind of granted me, okay, I don't have to go to every Wednesday. I don't have to go.
You do, but whatever.
No.
Even Maya's changing her mind about
more
that.
Like,
but okay.
I was just wanting to go socialize all the time instead of, like, I moved away and now I'm moving back because I moved away and had a salary increase, and then I'm moving back and I got also a salary increase. So I've, like, effectively increased my salary by 31 to 34%, which is insane in a market like this and in the industry I'm in. So
meanwhile, your boy is broke, so I'm gonna put my Cash App up here if you want to send some dollars my way.
Send some dollars to Bowden and
dollars.
just send me good vibes on my new job.
Yeah, she needs the good vibes. Give it.
So, but I will have a week and a half off. I'm thinking of going to Georgia to go do some comedy in Georgia.
Fuck, where's Georgia again?
South.
Yeah, I mean, I know where Georgia is.
So it's
I have the map
I think it's
memorized.
about 2.5 hours 3 or 4 hours from here to Nashville. I think I'll go stay in Nashville for a couple nights and then go stay in Georgia is like 4 more
That's
hours
insane.
from there.
That is insane.
So just, trying to plan what I want to do. I like to travel and do comedy a little bit, but definitely moving back for, for work, but moved away, moved back. I feel like I had my time away, suspiciously similar to the time Tyrese Halliburton has spent away from the Indiana Pacers. So
She's like, I don't want that broken ass bitch, but now that he's on the heel up, she's like, I'm back, baby, I'm back.
No, it just timed out that when I left, Tyrese got injured, so we haven't had a season of Tyrese, and we haven't had a season of Chelsea and Indy. So I just think 2026 is going to be a very special year for us in the Indy scene, and a special year for the Indiana Pacers. So I always notice that a lot of good things that happen for Tyrese, like a lot of good things happen for me at the same time. So we are very linked up, and
a lot of wishful thinking on your part. But
I'm a spiritual person.
I would love to get you guys in a room and have you say that straight to his face.
Yeah, I would say that. I would
a lot of great things happen to you when I'm in town. Maybe cosmically.
Cosmically, yeah.
I mean, what's his sign? You're a Gemini.
He's a Pisces.
So what's that pair up with?
He would be in my 10th house of career and like higher aspirations.
I forgot
so
all this shit.
He really
Nothing.
He really motivates me to be my best self, and that's kind of how I'm trying to like show myself in the comedy scene, right? Is to be the best version of me and to be that like leader. And I just think he's a great leader. I think he's a great just a good way to carry yourself, is someone that shares with others, and is like I always like the term like the rising tide pushes all boats up, like I want to be that rising tide for the scene and then make sure everyone's like taken care of too. I had the option when I first started comedy first started running shows to not pay people, and I chose to always pay. So there's never been a comic on my show that hasn't been paid for the amount of time they've done.
I think you're the only person I haven't paid, but that's just because I forgot to pay you last time.
I told you not to pay.
But we also went.
I just did a guestie. So to me, like a guest spot, a 5-minute guest spot.
So there are.
No, but it's optional if it's a guest. If you're coming up to a showrunner and be like, "Can I get some time?" They're not obligated to pay you.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I fucking
it's like,
had
"It's my
KJ
birthday.
on.
Can I get 5 minutes?" Or you're just giving someone a pity 5.
Oh man, I wish someone would give me a pity 5. Good.
All of Bowden's sex life is
pity 25.
Is a pity 5.
Pity 25 would be nice. I can make it work in that amount of time. Yes.
Do you ever think you want to do comedy and music shows? Comedy and music?
I'll do comedy and anything. I'm looking to get in. So we have a local kink club called Subspace that they're apparently doing a show now. And our good friend Sean Hayes is going to be performing there this month. So I guess I'm going to go see Sean do naked comedy. I'm trying really hard to get on that show. Like, I'll do any kind of show. I'll do it for music. I did stand-up comedy for my grandmother's birthday party. She had all of her senile, 80-year-old friends there. I did a 10-minute set of stand-up for them, just making jokes about vaginas and stuff, and it went way over their head. So yeah, I'd do music stuff. I'd do anything. What are you doing?
Oh, I thought they were...
He's gonna bite him. They're just fighting each other.
I think they were massaging each other.
Making biscuits. I don't know. They're semi-homoerotic for brothers. It's kind of... It's a heated rivalry for sure. Dude, I haven't seen that show yet, but everyone's saying heated rivalry, and I'm like, I hate it when there's a new show out that I know nothing about, so I'm like, what's fucking heated rivalry? It's some bullshit, and they're like, 2 gay hockey players. I'm like, your favorite show? Like, never mind, I'm 100% on board. I'm down. That's insane. A lot of shows are just becoming live action smut, which I think is making some really good content. I miss writing smut. I need to get back into it. I was so good at it. That's right, ladies. I like foreplay and I write smut. High quality smut. I got paid for it, actually. So I'm a win-win scenario.
We can do the last two.
Where did
finish up.
Divine Timing Comedy come from? We discussed a little bit. You've been at it for like 2.5 years, and then you
Yes.
started with your venue up at the Uncle. But how has it really progressed from the early days into what it is now?
Yeah, so I worked with a comic who's no longer a friend, kind of an enemy now, but his whole thing was subjective comedy. So his whole thing is comedy is subjective. Subjective
I
comedy.
thought you meant like he'd be subjecting people to some
No.
bullshit.
I mean, yeah, it would be. And his whole thing was comedy subjective. So to me, comedy is actually timing. So to me, comedy is like there's a divine timing to it. There's divine meaning from the gods, from spirits. So there's a divine timing to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got into like the divine name, I also realized Dante Alighieri. He has a series of books about hell called The Divine Comedy.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of both divine timing as far as what I think comedy is, and then divine comedy, which is a play on like the descent into hell. So it's a bit of like a double entendre. So to me, it's my show running business. It's kind of what I put everything under, so that I'm not advertising on my personal Facebook pages to my friends. I don't want to just. The thing is, you don't want to inundate your friends and family with your comedy. Like they can see a couple of my show posters.
Yeah, but none of them go on my fan page.
Because your page is still it's still your face. It's not like your brand.
No, well, like I have my page for my comedy stuff, but like no one will go and follow that. They just follow my regular. So I end up posting on my regular Facebook instead.
I mean,
it's just not working
fair.
for me.
I mean, that's fair. So, it's different for everyone. I just didn't want a place where it was Chelsea.
Oh,
Snedden.
yours works so well.
I just didn't want a place where it's like Chelsea Snedden comedy, because then people weren't like, I don't know. I saw people's pages that were like blank comedy, and it's just I didn't want to follow it.
Well, I got like 3
But if
different...
I knew my friend had a cool comedy brand
Mm-hmm.
and that they were putting my other friends on, I would follow that and like prop them up a little bit. So it's kind of. It allows me to keep things off my personal page that I don't want to just spam my friends, but it also allows me to kind of like, when I do send out a personal ad, it's not just Chelsea Snedden doing an ad, it's Divine Timing Comedy, and it looks legit.
What it mostly results in, though, is me having 3 different chats on Instagram, all from you, sending me memes from 3 different accounts.
True.
And then I'll be like, wait, I haven't responded back to her in 8 months, and it's just because you've sent them from 2 other profiles. But I love how you just went into this whole spiel about the meaning of your name. It's like all this intricate shit, and I'm like, BB Productions, because it's my initials.
That's fine. It's something. It's easy to remember. It's there's a double there. Branding is so personal. It's so.
I like the gold. I really like putting my gold emblem on anything.
You put your little emblem. You put your emblems on each poster. So when you kind of flip back between them, what I want you to do is something similar to me, where you have like a portfolio of these are the productions I put on.
I kind of have one started. I just need to put it together.
Yeah.
Because I got 11 shows under my belt now. I'm not 100% sure. And not all of them have been great, but I think I make pretty decent posters. I think your posters are a lot better, but you've got a lot more time in it. Yeah.
It is what it is.
I don't know.
Alright, so you want to start wrapping
I think
it up?
you should ask me a question, honestly. I do best at reverse crowd work, which is instead of like me asking the crowd something, I just like, you want to talk about me?
What's an unrealistic goal for 2026 and a realistic goal for you for 2026?
Get laid and go to jail for not paying my loans. Well, actually, if I go to jail, I'd probably get laid.
Get laid is free. I meant like your comedy goal.
Unrealistic. Maybe I could fluke it and do an opening set for somebody big. We do have friends who have been in comedy as long as I have, who've happened to luck out and get to open for some big names. Aiden Abel, he put himself out there. He got to open up for Adam Ray, which is a big deal.
Asia Chardonnay, she gets to open for Mike Epps soon.
So like that's.
I get to do a conference in Mishawaka. I get to do 225-person conference center May 9th. Shouting out Edward Mitchell, who put me on that. I'm
gonna
really
have
excited.
a list of things I need to. This is gonna be beautiful, but I don't know. So I think as far as unrealistic goes, I wouldn't even say it's unrealistic, but it's contingent on me doing a lot of things and having to luck into something. But I could potentially get an opening set at Helium. There are a few friends of ours who have been closely watching me. It was like, I think in your best moments, you could like probably open up really decently for some people, and I'm like, I would love that.
Yeah.
But realistically, kind of want to get on the Sunday show, but that's not like, I'm kind of like already sort of in the mix for it, so it's like I'm not as focused on that now. I'd like to just consistently get booked more, because I had like a real phase there where I was getting booked like every week or every other
your own
week.
Shows is helpful, but
no, it fucked me, man. Once everyone realized I was doing shows and they started doing well, people were like, stop booking me on things, and I did get a couple opportunities.
But then book showrunners.
I have.
People like book Sean Hayes. Like book,
I mean, I did. I booked Veronica
room.
Casilla. She has a great queer show down in Bloomington,
that
and
looks really
I got
fun.
to be on that because she was on my Zoomer Humor, so that was great. I'm not saying it doesn't work sometimes. I'm just saying like I had a
But you gotta
huge
think in
flux of bookings, and then it detered out.
Yeah, like my show in Shelby Street, which I'm gonna plug in a little bit, but my show Shelby Street is Zach Zuba, who runs Department of Menial Humor, and then it's two girls from
And a cup? Hell yeah.
No.
Damn.
I joked yesterday. It's two amazing gals from Broad Comedy out of Cincinnati. So they book a room of all women at the Hoffner Lodge, which is just this beautiful older bar. Like Cincinnati's hundreds of years old, so just a really cool vintage bar. They booked me last summer, and it was a great time. So just wanted to book them, but you know they're showrunners. Zach's a showrunner, and then the headliner is Homer Shadowheart. I don't think he runs anything, but just an amazing person. Someone I want to speak for me. As well as Sean Hayes, not booking him because
I love Sean.
But because it's more of a queer room, I want each time I do it to feature a queer comic. So it's not like I'm booking a full queer showcase. I just want to make sure that I'm at least featuring a queer comic in the queer room. So next one I'll be having a comic come from South Bend to come feature for that. So really excited to bring in more queer comics.
It's crazy you didn't book me. That's cool.
I'm gonna have you host one of them.
That's cool.
But I thought you were gonna run your own, so I really didn't.
Hopefully, if they get back to me, yeah. When I do mine, I'm doing the Zoomer Humor again, and I luck out like half of them are all bisexual, so I feel like I'm getting it across the board.
I don't know when this will be published, but do you want to go over like
this episode?
Do you want to go over like your upcoming projects?
Yeah, I got some good stuff coming up. I got the Saturday showcase February 14th. This should be out a few days at the minimum before that.
CK, love them.
Terry, CK, Amy Mishevich. I tried to get it right.
She's awesome.
We're also going to have Jimmy Medina and Nate Robinson on. That's pretty, so it's already really stacked.
Love Nate.
And we have our beautiful headliner, Jeremy Johnson, who was on the podcast last episode. Unfortunately, we both had very low energy, and it was a time crunch. So don't predict too much on that. But it's on Valentine's Day. It's going to be a great time. And then I have, I'm doing my final Hoosier Hilarity Showcase February 27th, also at FSB, Farm Square Brewery. That'll be good. I got Tanner McDonald, Daryl Hollenquist Jr., Mariah Davison, Haley Wilcox, and Peter Wallace.
Nice.
Peter
nice.
Wallace.
So... what I've got coming up is, as I've talked about, Bowden and I are now working with Shelby Street Tavern on Garfield Park, on Shelby Street itself, running first of hopefully many stand-up on Shelby Street show. That's going to be headlined by Homer Shadowheart, a really amazing Native American person who has just a fantastic story, and featuring the girls of Broad Comedy, featuring Zach Zuba of Department of Menial Humor, and Sean Hayes. So
Sean Hayes. Shout out Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes.
He hasn't put me on anything yet, but he has I did get offered to do a five much earlier on the Saturday showcase because of him, and he's been a real help for me, like helping me get to shows and then sometimes, and just being a really good friend.
And then
he's a great guy.
April 4th, I'm going to be at a theater in Chicago, so really excited to continue trying to break into Chicago scene. Chicago's a little bit brutal and intense to do, but to have a
Chicago.
connection with an actual theater show. I'll be opening for an improv act.
Mm-hmm.
And then May 9th, as I mentioned earlier, I will be opening for Alex Ortiz out of Chicago.
Ortiz
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Okay.
He's out of Chicago.
I'm just making sure I get it right.
But it's a huge 225 person conference center in Mishawaka, so really excited for that. A shout out Ed Mitchell. And just if you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm Chelsea Snedden at Divine Timing Comedy. So on either of those, if you want to follow me for more cool indie-based shows.
I will make sure to put up show posters and put up your social medias for everyone to see.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for having me, Bo.
No problem. I think we had a pretty good time. We talked about everything we planned to. That's good. She came in with a rubric. She's very professional. It's almost like I had a producer for a hot second. Now she has to go all the way back up to Valpo. So.
Watch the Super Bowl with my family, yeah.
Fuck. God damn. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I guess I'm going to have to crawl into my hole. Anyways, yes, we've had a great time. This has been the Byrd Is The Wyrd podcast. I am your host, Byrd. This has been my lovely guest, Chelsea Snedden. Yeah, say some words.
What's up? I'm Chelsea. We had a really good time.
Yeah.
We got to discuss, comedy beef, comedy in the First Amendment, some amazing black showrunners for, we got Black History Month. And
I made a ton of passive-aggressive comments that no one's going to understand.
And just shouted out some really great comics in our scene and got to, really explain, what my brand came from, what show running really is like for both of us, and how we share that passion, and just maybe, who mentored us in comedy. So we really got to explore some really great topics.
Yeah, I'm hoping that on this podcast, people, if anyone ends up watching this that's not already linked into the scene, that it'll kind of draw some people in.
Cool.
But yes, we have had a great conversation. I will be back next week, and yeah, this has been so much fun. I will see you guys soon.